thought I had lost you, but you're back. Yes, it's the Asics Novablast 3. It's back. I'm back in love with the Novablast. Quick thoughts on running 100 kilometers so far. Before I talk more about the Novablast 3, I had a question, well, more of an observation to a recent video here on the channel, that MAF test that I did, and it came from Tailwind Shenanigans. Now, he was just a little bit concerned that my breathing was quite laboured in that MAF test and that maybe I shouldn't be adding that extra 5 beats per minute to get my maximum aerobic function heart rate up to 130 beats per minute. Well, I thought I'd just explain why I think that I am breathing quite heavy in pretty much all of my runs at the moment, and this is something that has happened since I had COVID about 8 or 9 months ago. My breathing just hasn't got back to normal. And this is something that I dealt with during the marathon training block where I ran that sub 3-hour marathon at Melbourne. I said several times in videos here on the channel that my breathing was quite heavy, it was quite laboured. That is just something that has stuck with me ever since I've had COVID. If it was getting to a point where my heart rate was bursting through that 130 beats per minute ceiling, then sure, I would be definitely slowing the pace down so that I could control that heart rate around that 130 beats per minute. But my heart rate is fine. I'm finding that the pace at that 130 beats per minute is quite comfortable. I don't see any reason to change what I'm doing there. My pace at that 130 beats per minute is still quite comfortable. I'm not having any trouble holding that pace and then holding that 130 beats per minute on MAF heart rate. And also when I'm finishing these runs, I'm returning to normal breathing within a couple of minutes. I think it's just a bit of a lasting hangover from COVID. I just really wanted to explain, if there was other people out there thinking the same as Tailwind Shenanigans, that everything is okay. You know, I am paying attention to my breathing. It is something that is, I wouldn't say concerning, but it's just something that I am aware of. The heavy breathing doesn't correlate with a higher heart rate. My heart rate is normal, running at that sort of pace at 130 beats per minute. If it got to a stage where that heart rate was really elevated in combination with the heavy breathing, then most certainly I would be checking my pace and going back to the drawing board. Now, I've run in all 3 versions of the Novablast. And if you have been following the channel here for some time, guys, back in 2020, I think it was, when the Novablast 1 came out, I was running in the Tokyo edition, that bright orange colorway. You could see me coming from miles away. I raved on about that shoe. I think I got very close to about 1,000 kilometers in that. So it's at about 600 mile. Then along came the version number 2. I just could not get enthused with version 2. It was just a shoe that really disappointed me. I was still able to get 800 odd kilometers in the shoe, and as you can see there, the durability was excellent, but it just, to me, felt flat, and dare I say it, lifeless. Version 2 for me was a real letdown. Oh, I'm so glad Asics are back on track with this model. It's a shoe that I could run in every day. It's just so comfortable, and it's a jack of all trades. A lot of changes in the 3s. The midsole is a little bit wider. Some people did complain that the midsole was just a little bit unsteady in the earlier models. I never had that issue. It's a really comfortable ride, the 3. A new jagged upper as well, a lot more lightweight, and really do appreciate that in the warmer weather here in Brisbane. The tongue, not quite as padded as well. There's a little bit of padding there, so they have really saved on some weight in this shoe. I think in my size, US 11.5, 243 grams. It's a really light, everyday trainer. And they've saved a bit of weight with the midsole using the Flight Foam Blast Plus. It's a beautiful midsole. Not plush, but nice and soft. And they have sort of lessened the decoupled groove in the outsole as well.
So it hasn't really got that trampoline effect that definitely the ones had. I didn't notice it quite so much in the twos. I just felt the twos were a little bit lifeless. I don't really notice the lack of bounce or that trampoline sort of feeling in the threes, but there's enough energy return from that midsole. Just makes it a good shoe to be able to use to pick up the pace.
This is a shoe that can do everything.
You can use for an interval session, you can use to run a fast 5k, you can run a tempo, a threshold, you can do an easy run, you can do a long run, you can do a long run with marathon pace efforts, and the Novablast 3 from Asics just ticks all those boxes. It's just a real down-to-earth workhorse, and that's what I found with the Novablast 1. Not so much with the twos. I just could not have a love affair with the twos. The two of us just didn't get on.
Version 2, it can go to the rubbish tip.
I'm well and truly back in love with the Novablast 3s.
This shoe's going to get me to 1,000 kilometers again, like the version 1. So durable on the outsole.
Have you got a pair of the Novablast 3s? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the shoe. The Novablast 3s are the fourth and final shoe that I've added to my shoe rotation for the preparation for Tarawera. My most favourite of the four. It gets the nod over the Nike Invincible 2s and also the Nike Pegasus 39, and coming in a long last at this stage is the Hoka Bondi 8s.
This shoe is going to get lots of use over the next 3 months leading up to Tarawera. More updates will come. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Really do appreciate you sticking around and watching these videos. Really does mean a lot to me. Until next time, take care, happy running, and I'll see you.